Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and sellers across the nation are starting to realize that they are losing the upper hand in our housing market. And now, many homes are selling below listing price, which is a very positive sign if you're like me on the sidelines waiting to buy. Now, also what's important to understand that if you do own a home, that selling a home can cost as much as 8%. 3% generally going to the buyer's realtor, 3% generally going to the seller's realtor, and then an extra 2% for taxes and closing costs like title, escrow, and things of that nature. So in other words, you guys, real estate is not liquid. Now, the question is what can sellers do once we start really going into the dark months, which I believe is going to be at the end of this year, but really dark in 2023. So we're going to dig into an article from Yahoo that actually explains some of these things that is titled, "With homes increasingly selling below listing price, some sellers are considering going it alone to cut costs." So we're going to talk into that a little bit today, you guys, and I'm going to give you my standpoint on how you can cut costs because I don't agree with this article. Essentially, they're saying don't use a realtors and don't use MLS or use a fixed fee service. So I'm going to go into the pros and cons of that. But if you guys can, before I continue, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in real estate. This is my personal YouTube channel. So please, you guys, do me a favor. Like this video for my personal efforts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And please, you guys, comment below. I love hearing from you. You guys already know that. Now, let's get started on this read and this article right now. And you guys, this is really interesting. It's starting to show you guys basically the emotion is starting to switch. The market's starting to switch. Now they have articles about how sellers can sell their house for less. This is crazy. For less fees. Let's read. Now, with some sellers having to actually lower their list price, homeowners might be thinking about ways to save on transaction costs, namely real estate agent fees. Sellers typically pay between 5 and 6% of the sell price of the real estate agent, who then usually splits the money with the agent representing the buyer. But there are ways to sell your home without using a traditional agent. While doing it this way can save you a bunch of money, it's important to know exactly what you're getting and what you're not. Now, it's going to go into the flat fee option, and then I'm going to give you guys, again, I'll give you my opinions on the pros and cons of this because I think you really have to be careful, especially if you don't have any representation. All right, so it goes the flat fee option. Almost 90% of homeowners used a real estate agent to sell their homes over the past year, according to a new report from Realtor.com. I'm shocked it's not higher. There's a good reason the majority of people work with realtors. It works, he says. There's effort and expertise involved and skills that most homeowners don't have. Yet, not everyone feels they need an agent to hold their hand through the sales process, or they just don't want to pay a 6% commission. In these cases, some sellers turn to so-called flat fee real estate brokerages. These companies charge upfront fees to list your home on your region's multiple listing service, or MLS, a searchable database of properties for sale. Zinnin, the broker for San Diego-based Listed Simply, which offers a flat fee service in California and Arizona, says that with the market simmering down, sellers are looking for ways to save. Now that the market is turning, they're going to maybe get less money than before. They can save money on the listing side of the transaction to make up the difference. So remember one thing though, I actually find it interesting, the flat fee services. I think it's a little bit too soon to really lean on that just because the whole industry isn't set up that way. But one of the problems is with those flat fee companies that only put your home on MLS is you're missing one of the most important things with representation. Now, the MLS is hugely important. So don't get me wrong. Having your home on MLS is vital, but they don't represent you. So the paperwork and understanding the negotiations, no one's helping you. And the thing is, guys, with these residential purchase contracts, if you accidentally check the wrong box, it can completely turn your world upside down. So understand you get what you're paid for, but we're starting to see that flat fee service side of things as far as listings come to the market. I'm telling you guys, be really careful because those purchase contracts are very specific. Now, let's jump back into this article. So Kyra's company charges a flat fee of $79. That's it. $79 to list your house on the MLS, but the services they offer are minimal. For example, the homeowner must take and upload their own photos, and they have to field calls from prospective buyers and agents and handle any showings or open houses. And sellers must still offer a commission to the agent representing the buyer. So at most, this may save you at most 2 to 3%. So that means if you have representation, can the agent get you 2 to 3% more for your house? Probably yes. Probably yes, they can. One way to save on realtor fees is to simply ask your agent to reduce their commission. And honestly, I think more people should be doing that. I don't want, my peers to be mad at me, but I feel like that needs to be asked a lot. And I hate when people, and I've talked to a lot of realtors, you guys, here's the thing. I've talked to a lot of realtors that say, oh, when someone asks me to remove my 3%, no way, there's no way I'm going to do that. I earn it. I don't agree with that. I think that I have to be very careful how I say this, but I don't think most realtors earn the 3%. I'm just being real with you. And I feel like that the realtors that say and refuse to lower that for 3%, I don't think they're good realtors. I think they should negotiate their commission. And I believe that as we go into further years and sellers understand that they're going to be making less money, I think that you're going to start seeing that a lot more often. I think you're going to start seeing realtors reduce their commissions. And here's the thing, you guys, personally, I don't think that's a bad thing. It actually happened in the mortgage residential lending when the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act was passed. Back in 2002, loan officers could make 4% to 5% on loans. Fast forward to today, it's at about 1.5%. Realtors today, 3%. So the thing is, guys, real estate is very, very expensive, but I'm not saying that you should not get representation. There's so many reasons to get representation. And again, by using that flat fee company, you're probably going to save maybe 2 to 3% because you still have to pay for the buyer's agent. And normally agents aren't going to send buyers to houses if they're not going to get paid, right? Why would they do that? So again, if you're going to do that, if you're going to list it yourself, my thought is just get licensed, because if you get licensed, at least you can have your broker help you. So, I've met very few people that that are not licensed that I feel like could navigate through a purchase contract. Actually, I've only met one person like that. It's my sister-in-law's husband. He's an absolute genius, but he's like freakishly intelligent, and he absolutely loves reviewing legal documents. So if you're like, someone like him that they actually love it, then maybe fine. Do this yourself, but I'm going to say overall, it's not smart. You shouldn't do it. It makes more sense to negotiate the commission with your realtor than just not use them altogether. That's just my opinion. Let's get back to the article. You shouldn't begrade someone for asking, and then it's an agent's decision to decide what to do. Still, Berlin says he was more willing to negotiate his fee when selling were happening at lightning speed. That's no longer the case. For us, we are holding tighter on commissions because it's taking longer to sell houses, and it's more work for us than before when we knew a house would go under contract in a matter of hours versus months. Okay, so now you're going to have to earn your commission. Is that what he's saying? The thing is, guys, and when we were going through this red hot housing market, you didn't even need to do anything. You just barely even needed to list the house. In fact, I remember some listings, they wouldn't even let you in the house to do a walkthrough unless your offer was accepted. How crazy is that? So, I just don't buy it. I think that they're going to have to lower it and work harder. So I think you're going to have to lower your commission, and I think you're going to have to work harder. I could be wrong, but that's what I suspect. Let's jump back into the article right now. Now, this is going to be more of a for sale by owner right here. And I definitely don't recommend this, you guys. The MLS, multiple listing service, is so powerful, but here's what it says. Foregoing the MLS. Some sellers choose to skip the agent and MLS altogether. Those who list their homes for sale by owner often do so because they either don't trust agents or want to save money. Others do it because they have the time and know-how. Some are able to negotiate in their best interests and are able to come together with somebody else with an opposing interest. Another less common way to sell is for an owner to hire a real estate agent, but ask that their home not be advertised on MLS. Some homeowners do this for privacy reasons, but they can lose out financially, according to a recent study from Maryland-based Bright MLS, which represents real estate agents covering 6 states and Washington, D.C. The study, which analyzed over 840,000 real estate transactions through the Mid-Atlantic region, January 2019 and through March 2022, found a sales price gap of nearly $56,000 between typical homes listed on MLS and one that was not. So $56,000 more on average on MLS. So again, you guys, a lot of people think that if they don't hire a realtor, they're going to make more money on their house. That's not necessarily true. Now, if you're savvy and you still pay the other agent, maybe it's true, but understand what we need to do is work with great realtors, and before just not hiring them altogether, try to negotiate their commission. The analysts showed that the benefit of listing on an MLS grew throughout the pandemic, with homes selling in the region for a premium of 9.8%, 10.1%, and 14.8% in 2019, 2020, and 2021, respectively. When a property is marked through a limited number of agents in a specific market area, many potential buyers are excluded from the process, creating an unlevel playing field for consumers that goes against the fair housing practices the industry is working hard to promote. So here's the thing, you guys, we're going to start seeing more and more articles like this, as the fear of missing out slides into the seller's market. And again, you guys, I understand that a lot of people refinance into 2, 3, 4, and 5% interest rates, but the number one reason people moves is employment. So what happens when job loss starts, right? It stands to reason that people will start to sell their house and they may start renting or find something more affordable. But either way, you guys, I want to conclude this with two things. Number one, if you're going to sell without an agent, my thought is become a licensed agent. Becoming a licensed agent can take about 3 months, 3 to 6 months, but you're going to have your broker helping you the entire time. And by becoming an agent, not only do you save 3%, probably 3%, you also make 3% on your next purchase. So that's overall a profit of 6%. So if you want to make an extra 6% on your house, you guys, become a realtor. Have your broker help you. That's just my opinion. Or use an outstanding realtor. Now, the second thing is, number two, sellers are absolutely losing the upper hand across the nation, regardless of the fact that we are going into months of inventory decline. So regardless of that decline in inventory, they still lost their upper hand. And we're going to start seeing that more and more throughout this year and into 2023. Now, other than that, you guys, I really appreciate you watching this video. Comment below. Let me know what value you got from it. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.